Let's start by just talking about the car, or the crossover, I don't know if we call it a car anymore, behind us. I want to get your take on this market because it's exploded. It's got to be difficult to compete in. So I wonder, A, what's it like competing in it? And B, do you cannibalize your own sales of sedans because everyone seems to be moving higher up into the crossover market?
Yeah, the crossover market is where all the action is today. We've seen the market segment for mid-sized luxury crossovers like the XT5 has expanded 25% last year, and first 2 months of this year, another 24% on top of that. So a massive swing, and this is global, it's not just US. So the offset for that is, of course, a contraction in some of the important luxury car segments. The Lux 4 market, where we will compete with our CTS, or the Lux 3 market, where we compete with ATS against the 3 Series BMW, Mercedes C-Class, and so on. Both those segments have contracted by 15 and 10% respectively. So strong shift, and launching a red-hot product into a red-hot market segment makes us very optimistic for the future.
And the luxury market, I've been hearing at the auto show here in New York this week, has gotten a lot tighter for everybody. Is it more difficult for Cadillac as well, or are you still increasing your share of the luxury market?
Cadillac is doing really well at the moment. I'm very pleased with our performance. We, on a global basis last year, grew our sales by 7.5%. And we face different opportunities in different geographies around the world. In China, fastest growing luxury brand. In the US, where we already are very well established and have a large customer base, the focus for us here was really in terms of elevating the brand, in terms of stature, in terms of the kind of clientele that we are attracting. And I would say there too, it's mission accomplished. It may surprise many of your viewers, but in terms of average transaction prices as measured by J.D. Power, this is the money people write out for a car. Cadillac, year to date, is the #1 brand in the mainstream luxury market. We're a couple of $100 ahead of Mercedes-Benz, a few thousand ahead of BMW and Audi, $10,000 almost ahead of Lexus. And it means that there's a very discerning, very affluent customer base now drawn to the modern generation of Cadillacs that really are driving the ascendancy of this brand globally.
You face kind of the opposite challenge of your luxury market competitors. If we graph on the Bloomberg average selling price for Cadillac, it's going up and to the right. If we graph average selling price for BMW or Mercedes, it's going down and to the right. They're reaching down and you're reaching up. What kind of challenges does that present as someone who's worked on the other side?
Well, I think for us, it's a long part of a long-term strategic play for the brand. I think that we really want to work hard to capture that elevated position for the brand again. And that is why we are launching really high-tech flagship cars like our new CT6. These are low-volume cars, but absolutely bristling with technology and sophistication. They come with a high price point. They attract a certain clientele. You shape your driver profile, and once you've got the brand allure really firmly entrenched, then you start marketing down into the lower segments. And so this is the right place for us to be at this time.
A lot of people credit you with the success that Audi enjoys today. Our viewer, a young kid at a bank who just got enough money to buy his first car, maybe would normally look at an A4 or a BMW 3 Series. How do you sell a Cadillac to that kid?
I think actually what is interesting is that, for example, amongst millennials, which are now entering the luxury car segment as a major buying force, for them, their grandfather's car is a Mercedes or a BMW. And Cadillac represents a new, fresh, compelling, progressive alternative. And with cars like the ATS-V and the CTS-V as real thoroughbred performance cars, they capture the imagination of this audience, and it's gaining traction fast, and which is why I'm pretty optimistic about the future.
Let me ask you also about your move. Along with the naming scheme, which I personally am a big fan of, you got a lot of criticism for your move to New York from Detroit at the beginning. It seems like the tide has turned as far as public perception now. How is it playing out for you, being here in New York as opposed to back in Detroit, where we think of the heart of, the Motor City, obviously?
Well, Detroit will always be our home. We like the rising star from Detroit who's left hometown to venture into the big world. And setting up the global headquarters for Cadillac here in New York was about also not only attracting a diverse range of talent, which we really have done. We have a lot of automotive experts, and we've brought on new members with new perspectives from the luxury goods industry, from aviation, from hospitality, from fashion. And these folks really bring interesting new perspectives that I think help us to craft the right message for our new target audience. And most importantly, New York is an iconic global city like very few other cities in the world. And by being at the center of it, by immersing ourselves in it, we expose ourselves to the mindsets and attitudes of long-term future trends. And we want to be right there, crafting the future for this brand and for luxury consumption.